Hookers and coke. Hookers and coke go hand in hand, and I can tell you this from experience. Hookers and coke go hand in hand. When you are a coke addict, you have a lot of money usually because let's face it, cocaine addiction is not cheap. So, yeah, you got money and you blow all your money. You do not save a single dime. You are broke as a joke, but on the surface, you look like you have tons of money because all that money you make goes right into your addiction. And guess what? For whatever reason, stimulants and sex play hand in hand. I don't know what it is. There's not enough even research to say, why does coke make you horny? Well, it does make you horny. I mean, Adderall, which is a stimulant, makes you horny. Meth can make you horny. There's a lot of drugs out there that make you horny. And one of the drugs that hookers especially will go to too is coke. But why? Because coke isn't as dirty as what meth is. So cocaine and hookers and why they go hand in hand. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. What's up, guys? My name is Eric. I'm a recovering cocaine alcoholic. I share a lot of stories and experiences just for the ones out there struggling to know that you're not alone. And for people to be able to relate to what I've been through and maybe go, dude, I'm not alone. That guy's been through it. I've been through it. Like, I want to get sober. He's sober. Like, maybe I'm going to get sober too. And that's literally why I share. And one of the things that I want to share on is cocaine and hookers and just the dangers of it, of when it comes to cocaine and sex drive even. As a cocaine addict, I thought I was a sex addict too. Because anytime I did coke, I wanted to have sex. Now, I always would bring something else into it that was even more dangerous, which was usually Viagra or Cialis. Because one of the biggest things is when you're doing a lot of lines of coke, you are not going to get hard. You just aren't as a guy. And any coke addict will tell you, like, we've been in front of porn before and all this stuff, and you're horny as hell, but it's not working. Like, your body goes numb. And so when it comes to, hookers, let's face it, we like to have sex. So you're either going to hook up with people that we know that are down to, get high with us, or you're going to get hookers who are down to get high with you. And it's not really working. So what are you doing? You're taking stuff to make it get high, and it like feeds your addiction, and it feeds into that addiction. And the worst part is you start to relate all this to your addiction is what I found. It's like with me, I related so much to cocaine. It wasn't just the high. It was also all the wild, crazy sex. And it was like all this positive stuff that you would think. And on the surface, it sounds like fun. Like, dude, wild, crazy sex in a hotel room, doing lots of blow, popping a couple Viagra so you're hard, like girls doing rails off of junk. I mean, just these stories that they sound fun. And it sounds like, dude, I want that life. Like, that sounds like a party. But you don't realize like the flip side of it that like literally takes over your life. And that party only lasts so long. And eventually it all dissolves. And the worst part is you create this thing of like, you almost don't only fight to keep your addiction, but you fight to keep that lifestyle. And that's where I think a lot of the lying, cheating, and stealing even comes from, is that it's not that you just want the cocaine, but you want the sex, you want these hotels, you want this extravagant, crazy party life that you've created, that you had the ability to maybe even create for a little bit, that slowly starts to fall apart. And you start mixing all these other drugs into the system. And I can tell you this, the fallout of it all is yes, I had a bunch of sex with hot girls in hotel rooms. Sounds great, doesn't it? Sounds great. I mean, I remember a girl bent over and I have my phone and I'm on speakerphone trying to work a deal. And she's just backing into me as I'm on the phone. And I'm just laughing like, dude, this is amazing. Reality is this, it costed me a marriage. It costed me a divorce. It cost me a lot of money. And I hurt somebody that I should have never hurt. Okay, they didn't ask to be hurt, and I hurt them. The other reality is I lost my job. Your addiction gets to the point that you lose your job. It's not cool to be broke and, going through a divorce, being a cheater, being a manipulator, being a liar, being a bad person like that, because it all eventually catches up to you. I would trade all of these experiences to never experience it, if that makes sense, because they weren't worth it. It gets to the point that, I've made stupid money. I've made $50,000, $60,000 in a month. But yet at the end of my addiction, I had nothing to show for it. In fact, I owed a lot of people money. I mean, that's not fun. That's not cool. I mean, people don't realize that when we share a lot of this stuff and how these things all play in together, that the end story isn't cool. We got sober because we got sober. I mean, at the very end of it all, I was very isolated. I was alone. I was broke. I was going through divorce. I was hated by a lot of people. I was disliked by a lot of people. I was known as just a manipulator. I was known as an addict. And it took forever to rebuild that life. And even when it comes to, the cocaine and the sex and the hookers and stuff like that, I mean, sex, all of a sudden, it takes a while to almost like relearn sex after a while when you're too much of an addict. That sex isn't as enjoyable, and you don't even know. I mean, I think I got to the point that I was addicted to Viagra and Cialis so mentally even that after I got sober, I couldn't even get hard for the longest time. It took me a while to be able to have sex without taking a drug like that because I felt that it would never work unless I took those drugs from now on. I mean, I literally trained my brain that way. And that is the danger of it all. I mean, yes, they all play hand in hand, and you start introducing this stuff all into your life, but at the end, it ruins your entire life. And I share about this just for the ones out there that are struggling that go, dude, yeah, at one time we had it all. One time we had it all. And at one time, I'll never even forget, I was driving down a freeway and I was like, I need to enjoy this moment because it'll never hit this moment again. And it never did, actually. It all went downhill. You think it's going to last forever and it won't. It sounds like a party and it's not. Because at the end of the day, you hurt a ton of people. You hurt everybody you love. You isolate yourself. You broke as a joke. And it's not cool. And it sucks. And you have to rebuild it all. And then for the rest of your life, you can't be around this stuff because if you do, it brings out a different demon in you. It brings out a different person in you, and you keep destroying and ruining it all. And that's why I share. I share for the ones out there that are going through it. I share for the ones out there looking just for a story that they can relate to. I share my experiences for the ones out there struggling to know that it does get better. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, hit the like and subscribe button. Comment down below because that's what it's all about. It's hearing the real stories about it, the real of what this is like. I don't want to hear a doctor's opinion. I want to know some dude who's, carpet surfing, snorting up more concrete and more drywall than they are coke, but they think they spilled some on the floor. Because that's what I needed to hear when I was getting sober. And so I share just what I think I needed to hear for the ones out there that maybe need to hear it. So for the ones out there going through it, you ain't alone. I got links down below to NA and AA. If you're looking for some resources, it's a great place to at least start. And it starts with you just wanting it. So don't give up. It does get easier.